Alright guys, we came to Bucheon. This is a little bit outside of Seoul. We came here to go to the specific restaurant. We're gonna show you guys and then we're gonna discuss about it a little later. Let's go.
So this is a samgyeopsal restaurant, so you can eat pork, and usually these kind of restaurants are, you know, they've got all these round tables in the middle of a room or larger booths, but it's for groups. But this place, one person can eat, as you can see from like the smaller one-person booths over there. Many meat restaurants like this don't allow one person to eat unless they order like 2 servings. But this place actually encourages, you know, single people to come and eat. So it's this kind of new culture that's evolving in Korea called Honbap, which is basically like solo meal, or solo eating. And it's a huge cultural change, and we're actually going to talk about it in the second half of this video. We're going to have a discussion. But now we're starving and we need meat, so
Let's eat first. Oh, this is so cute.
This is so cute.
For
Usually
one
they're like
person.
this one, right?
Yeah.
We ordered moksa, which is like the neck meat, and we've got samgyeopsal over here, like the pork belly. Hey, this is pretty cool. I feel like it's like our own private little restaurant. So they've got a phone charger here, a monitor here, or if you want to watch something on your phone, you can just like clip it in here.
Satisfied?
Oh yeah. It's a very different experience for me for like eating this kind of meal. Me too. So we came to another Honbap restaurant, or the whole Honbap experience this week. And this one is called Ha나샤브정. So it's a shabu restaurant or hot pot restaurant for one person. It's like a little bar here, as you can see, all the different pots.
I ordered pork and Sarah ordered beef kind.
I'm gonna mix it up.
So we can try both basically. we just finished eating beef and pork shabu shabu. It was really nice.
I love that
We're
place.
probably gonna leave the information, a little more information in the description box about these two places. And for the second half of this video, we're gonna talk about why these Honbap places are more popping up, why this culture is changing. Yeah, I'm feeling great right now. I'm full. I just kind of want dessert.
Oh gosh. Hey guys.
Hello.
Okay, so this is the second half of our Honbap video, and we wanted to do a discussion on this because we're particularly interested in really huge and quick cultural shifts.
Right.
And I don't know, we just talk about this all the time together even. And it's something that we've definitely noticed in the last like 2 or 3 years. So we wanted to see, you know, what you guys think of it and kind of bring it up as a topic.
Right. Korea is usually group-oriented society, so many people tend to eat together or do certain things together.
Yeah, in groups.
In groups, yes. But within the last 2 or 3 years, many people start to do alone activities more than before, such as honbap, which means literally eating alone.
Yeah, hon is like alone and bap is like meal.
Yeah, and this is like a booming alone culture, like, such as 혼술, 혼영, which means drinking alone, watching movies alone.
That was one of the hugest cultural shocks for me. Because in Canada, I used to eat by myself all the time. Or go to a cafe by myself all the time, and it wasn't a big deal. Like, half the people there are like with somebody, and the other half are just on their own enjoying coffee or like reading a book or just whatever. But even just 5 years ago, I personally never really saw that so much. But these days, I see it all the time.
The restaurants these days making more of a bar sides.
Right.
Bar tables against the wall where people can just, you know, individually sit and eat.
Yeah.
And also for
little tables like
right.
for single people.
And even the products you can see nowadays they have with the small serving sizes of products where people just individuals can eat. We always thought about why is this now? Why is this happening? Like why honbap is honbap culture, eating alone culture is popping up now. Individual households in Korea.
Right.
Single households are increasing drastically, so people will try to do more activities outside, I guess.
Right. I'm not going to get into reading like all these statistics and stuff, but it is kind of interesting to hear the change. So even in Korean households, single person households are the most common. What do you want?
She wants my lips.
Gosh. Even just from 2010 to 2015, the number of single person households went up from 15.8% to 27.1%. And now it's 2017, so it's just going higher and higher. So it's the most common type of household. And before that, like until the 90s, it used to be 4-person household was the most common.
Yeah.
So it's completely the opposite in just, you know, a decade or two, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. I feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that people here are either choosing to get married later or they're just choosing not to get married at all because they don't want to. So they're just kind of living by themselves and doing their own thing, which obviously means you do more activities outside alone, which, you know, makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Personally, I think Korean society is changing more, care less about what other people think about them.
Yeah, I feel like that's slowly starting to happen.
Yeah, not in a negative way.
Right.
It's,
not overthinking how they appear to other people.
And I would say more of an individualistic culture.
I've spoken with some of my students about this. Obviously, they're adults, they work in companies, and they have this kind of company culture of eating together with their coworkers at lunch. And I asked them about it, and many of them said that they prefer to eat alone. And I said, why? And some of them said, you know, I like to have me time. I just like to have alone time where I can just decompress and, you know, I can just eat in 20 or 30 minutes and get back to work. But if I eat in that group setting, you're there for like an hour or an hour and a half, and you have to stay later at work to finish everything up.
And more likely to talk about work while
Exactly,
eating.
yeah, exactly.
Which is not really appetizing.
Yeah. Obviously, there's pros and cons to this whole change. So we're curious what you guys think. Are there major pros and cons?
Yeah.
And I especially want to ask, and Koreans who are viewing this, do you prefer to eat alone? Do you prefer to eat in a group? Or do you like a balance of both? And why?
I'm curious about other countries where, is there any other countries, this kind of eating alone, drinking alone, or single households are drastically increasing,
Right.
such as like similar culture. Is there anywhere else like Korea, or what is your country like?
Yeah, just in general when it comes to these kind of activities.
Or do you personally feel self-conscious when you eat alone? Or how far can you go? Like what kind of activities you can do it alone?
Yeah. When would it start to get weird,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
in your culture if you did something
Yes.
alone?
Alright, so that's why we kind of wanted to mix it up this video.
Yeah, we've wanted to do this for a while.
Yeah, so yeah, please let us know what you think, and we'll see you guys next week. Alright, bye. Bye. And Bimo here is bothering us all the time.